With Tryndamere falling out of meta, is it time for Darius to take over the spotlight? Now that Hecarim has been gutted, which junglers should be of highest priority? We've got those answers and much more, as it's time to update the 12.6 tier list as we reach the midway point of the patch. As always, our tier lists are pieced together thanks to the help of our challenger players and carefully analyzing the most recent data. But before we get into it, be sure to check out SkillCapped if you want to truly get better at League of Legends. We're the only service that offers a money-back guarantee if you don't climb at least 5 divisions while actively using our service. We do this because our service really does work, and if it doesn't work for you, you shouldn't pay. Learn more at the end of this video or click the link in the description below. Starting off up in the top lane, Darius has leapfrogged past the majority of top laners as a result of his recent buff. Level 6 with Ghost available has become that much more potent on Darius, as his all-in power with extra ultimate damage makes it even easier to snowball. Darius will be shifting one tier, going from S to OP for mid-patch. We had originally moved Tryndamere from OP into A for our pre-patch tier list, but the nerfs are proving to be even more negative than expected. Trynd's snowball power got hit extremely hard with the ultimate and E nerfs, so he's dropped down to being a rather mediocre pick. Still viable, but nowhere near as strong as in 12.5, so Tryndamere will be placed in B tier. The OP tier slots for top lane are locked down by Darius, Quinn, Garen, and Shen. Lifesteal nerfs in 12.6 haven't led to a significant drop in strength for many champions. Irelia, Jax, Uxin, Fiora, and Camille are all champions who slot Vamp Scepter in at some point in their builds, yet they're holding around the same power levels as they were in 12.5. Since Irelia builds Shield Bow and Blade of the Ruined King, she was hit slightly harder and has been moved into B tier as a result. The best low elo picks for top lane include Garen, Yorick, and Nasus. The best bans of the patch are Shen, Fiora, and Darius. After months on end of dominating the solo queue meta, we're seeing a shakeup in 12.6 with Hecarim falling from the OP tier. The nerfs weren't a light nudge either, as Hecarim is now one of the weaker junglers overall. Definitely stay away from the pony moving forward, as he will be placed in B tier. If you enjoy the tanky bruiser feel that Hecarim brings, then Volibear is a phenomenal replacement for 12.6. Volley has slowly been making his way up the tier list in recent patches, as he was directly buffed a while back, and many other junglers have been nerfed. Like Hecarim, Volley loves to abuse the turbo Chemtank rush, as it opens up much more consistent engage paths. Due to Hecarim dropping down, it now gives room for Volley to make his first appearance in the OP tier for Season 12. The Rengar quality of life changes have been a little underwhelming so far in regards to his solo queue results. With so many different changes, it's difficult to accurately predict how they would affect the champion, but we were definitely expecting a little more out of them. Buffs haven't really moved the needle, as Rengar remains a solid A tier pickup and not the OP pick we originally predicted. Alongside Volibear, Nocturne has been another jungler seeing a great resurgence in recent patches. Ever since Noc's 12.2 buffs, he's been a very quiet yet consistent performer. Indirect changes in recent patches have allowed Noct to move up even further. Death's Dance is an amazing second purchase. The recently buffed Maw gives Noct great strength into heavy AP comps, and there's even a new tank build going around offering a ton of versatility for the champ. We'll be covering the tank build during tomorrow's video, so be sure to watch out for that. All in all, Noct will be moving one tier, going from A into S for mid-patch. Kha'Zix and Diana continue to dominate as the godlike jungle picks, while Volibear makes his way into OP as well. Shyvana has been a really interesting jungler to track in recent patches, as we've been very adamant about her strength with the tanky bruiser build. There's a new variation leading to even greater success for 12.6, being a Nashor's Rush into Chemtank's second. The Frostfire into Demonic build is still great as well, but Chemtank offers a little more value. Many Shiv players have been running Ghost, and in combination with her movement speed buff from W, she gets a ton of value out of the Chemtank passive. The more move speed you have, the faster you charge the damage proc, so it works perfectly. Majority of players continue to sleep on Shiv, but she's an incredible S tier pickup. Best low elo junglers for 12.6 are Rammus, Volibear, and Shyvana. Graves, Diana, and Kha'Zix are a few of the most optimal bans. Mid lane has been relatively quiet for 12.6, but a minor adjustment we'll be making to the tier list is moving Lucian from C into B tier. Lucian is a super strong bot lane pickup, but his mid lane power is also the best it's been in a while. In saying that, Lucian mid is still one of those picks where you need to be able to pilot him above average to make him more worth it than most other mid laners. A very feast or famine character, which doesn't bode well for the majority of solo queue players. In Masters and above, Lucian mid is definitely a higher priority pick, but since our tier lists are catered to what's best in Diamond and below, he finds a spot in B tier. The mid lane tier list for 12.6 features Ahri, Fizz, and Veigar as the most OP picks. The new Treasure Hunter rune is a pretty interesting pickup on many snowbally assassin mids. Talon and Kiana, for example, are seeing the best success with Treasure Hunter, while Zed, on the other hand, not so much. It's not that Treasure Hunter is necessarily bad on Zed, it's that Ultimate Hunter is just greater value. Same thing in regards to LeBlanc and Ahri. You can definitely run Treasure Hunter, but Ultimate Hunter has been outperforming in 12.6. We noted how the lifesteal nerfs affected many top laners in a very minor way, and it's the same thing for a select few mids. Yone, Yasuo, and Uxin have all become slightly weaker, but nothing big enough to warrant a shift in their tier list placement. Top 3 low elo picks for mid lane are Veigar, Malzahar, and Annie. Zed, Veigar, and Ahri are a couple good bans to consider. We didn't see a single direct change to any bot lane pick in 12.6, so the meta is intact to where we had it for pre-patch. Lucian has absolutely taken over as the #1 bot lane carry and has risen up to pick or ban status. Surprisingly enough, Lucian's ban rate is still below 10% at the time of making this video, so get your reps in while you can. It's not that Veigar has become any weaker, but that Lucian is on a level of his own, which is why we're dropping Veigar into S. One other minor adjustment is moving Jinx from S into A tier, as the recent nerfs have pushed her a cut below many of the S tier options. Ashe is definitely one of the most undervalued bot lane pickups as a result of her recent buffs, and is a great S tier pickup. Players are finally starting to realize Zeri is no longer the top tier champ she was a few patches back, as her play rate is starting to drop off for 12.6. If you can play an exceptional Zeri, she's a viable pickup, but there are many better options at the moment. Veigar, Misfortune, and Ashe are 3 of the most broken picks for low elo. Vayne, Lucian, and Samira are highest value bot lane bans of the patch. Not only is Ashe ADC popping off right now, but support Ashe is flying heavily under the radar. When you think about it, the ultimate cooldown buff is absolutely perfect for Ashe support, as it's the utility that gives her power from the role. The core build is super unique as well, running a Mandate into Manamune and Axiom Arc as the core. It's all about maximum ability haste and reducing your ult to as low cooldown as possible. If our math adds up, this core build along with Lucidity Boots provides 80 ability haste, which in turn puts Ashe Ultimate on a 40-second cooldown at rank 2. The W spam will also be relentless, as it will have a 2.2-second cooldown. Optimal duo partner for Ashe is anyone who can follow up well in her pick plays. Ziggs or Karthus paired with Ashe are super deadly, and the ones we would recommend the most. With all that said, Ashe will be moving up 1 tier and placed in A for 12.6. Riot continues to keep it very light on the support changes, so Senna, Janna, Blitz, Soraka, and Renata are the most OP carries once again. Janna was hit with a little bug fix nerf, but all it's done is brought her back in line with the other OP supports. Janna actually had upwards of a 55% win rate in 12.5, but with the W bug fix, it's dropped to around 52. With Lucian's play rate absolutely skyrocketing, it indirectly gives a greater incentive to have Nami in your champion pool. Nami has actually seen a considerable increase in win rate for 12.6, as that's all due to the Lucian Nami spam. The duo has a remarkable 54% win rate so far this patch. For the first time in a long time, Tahm Kench is sitting steady in a very respectable A tier position. Tahm does still struggle into most double ranged matchups, which is why he can't move into S tier, but he's an excellent counter to melee supports like Nautilus, Leona, Thresh, Braum, and Maokai. Soraka, Blitzcrank, and Zyra are our top 3 low elo recommendations for support. Highest value bans of the patch are Renata Glass, Blitz, and Lulu. Alright guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little more about SkillCapped. So, we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's like a gym membership guaranteeing you'll get ripped. Your local gym would go bust if they offered that, right? Not us. We've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium league guides on the internet. We add over 20 videos a week, with over 1,600 guides curated into over 100 courses no one can compare. We've also sent challenger players into Elo Hell 714 times and counting, where they commentate how to carry live. They also respond to all questions asked. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you are serious about improving. So there you have it, a quick update on the solo queue meta as we reach the halfway point of 12.6. Good luck out there this patch, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.